I pick a cathedral-length veil that flows behind me like a soft cloud, and a tiara that makes me feel like royalty. My jewelry set, made of diamonds and pearls, glimmers with every flicker of light, becoming my something new. Everything is falling into place with a precision that feels almost planned. Then a notification pops up on my phone. It's David. I glance at Evelyn's latest Instagram post. My thumb hovers above the screen. Something feels wrong. The angle, her pose. It seems like she's hiding something or someone. That's when I notice him, lurking at the edge of the frame. His face isn't visible, but something about his presence seems intentional, almost familiar. My heart races as I stare at the image, trying to convince myself that I'm imagining things. My fingers move almost by themselves as I scroll through her feed, unease growing with each passing photo. He's there again and again, always just in view enough to catch my attention, like a shadow I can't shake. In one photo, it's the edge of a leather jacket. In another, I glimpse dark hair and broad shoulders. Each appearance sends a fresh crack through the world I've carefully built. I want to confront her, demand answers, but something holds me back. This requires patience and strategy, traits I never imagined I'd need in a relationship. The shower runs upstairs, the rhythmic sound syncing with my heartbeat as I unlock her phone. I despise myself for this, for becoming the kind of person who snoops through their partner's private messages. Nothing suspicious in the texts or call logs, but that only deepens my doubts. It's too perfect, too clean, like someone has gone through and carefully edited the story. Later, after she falls asleep, I call a private investigator. If I'm being paranoid, I'll bear the shame. But if I'm right, the thought makes my stomach churn. 7 days later, the investigator's report arrives in my inbox. His name is Brad. He's a regular at her gym, but that's just the beginning. The report details their meetings with clinical accuracy. Intimate dinners at restaurants I've never heard of. Afternoon rendezvous at boutique hotels with discreet lobbies, stolen moments in quiet cafes where no one knows their names. The dates align perfectly with my business trips, each betrayal carefully timed during my absences. My stomach churns as I read, but I force myself to keep going, memorizing every detail of her deception. One evening, she asks about custom invitations, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Something truly unique for the wedding. Maybe letterpress with gold foil accents. Whatever makes you happy, I reply, impressed by how steady my voice sounds. She beams, unaware of the storm brewing beneath my calm exterior. I wonder if she practices these moments of innocence in front of a mirror, like an actress rehearsing her lines. I want everything to be perfect, she says, touching my arm. Her fingers feel like brands against my skin. This will be the best day of our lives. The conviction in her voice should be touching, but it's horrifying. How can she plan our future with such enthusiasm, while systematically destroying our present? Later, she studies my face in the soft lamplight. Are you okay? You seem distant lately. Her concern would seem genuine if I didn't know better. Just tired. I lie smoothly, the words feeling like acid on my tongue. She kisses me, and I kiss back, keeping up the charade. Each touch now feels contaminated, tainted by the knowledge of where she's been and with whom. I wonder if Brad can taste me on her lips, just as I imagine I can taste him. The investigator sends more evidence. Lunch meetings where Brad sits too close, private jokes shared across cafe tables, stolen glances that speak volumes. Each photo is another nail in the coffin of our relationship. I file them away, carefully building my case piece by piece. This isn't about quick revenge. It's about perfect timing, crafting a moment she'll never forget. I plan meticulously, like an architect designing a building. Every detail matters. Every timing must be flawless. The wedding, her dream day, will be my stage. She'll stand there in white, surrounded by friends and family, believing she's achieved everything she ever wanted. The flowers will be perfect, the music just right, every detail exactly as she imagined. She won't see it coming until it's too late. Let her plan her perfect wedding. Let her choose the flowers, the venue, the music. Let her believe in this fantasy she's created. I'll give her exactly what she wants, just before I tear it all down. Sometimes, the cruelest thing you can do to someone is give them everything they've asked for. Hey there, Evelyn says, standing in front of the ornate mirror in the bridal boutique. I can hardly believe this is real. After months of Pinterest boards and late-night planning sessions, my dream wedding is finally taking shape. The delicate lace of my chosen dress catches the light, creating patterns that dance across the fitting room walls. David has been surprisingly involved in the planning, encouraging me to pursue every extravagant detail I've imagined. Each time I expect him to balk at the costs or question my choices, he simply smiles and tells me to make it perfect. I've chosen the Rosebrook estate for our venue, a magnificent Victorian mansion overlooking the coast, with manicured gardens that seem to stretch endlessly toward the horizon. The coordinator understood my vision immediately. Crystal chandeliers catching the sunset light, strings of fairy lights transforming the garden into a magical wonderland, and tables adorned with cascading white orchids and blush roses. The price tag made me hesitate for a moment, but David insisted we spare no expense. "This is your day," he said, his voice warm and encouraging. "I want you to have everything you've ever dreamed of." The sincerity in his eyes made my heart flutter. How did I get so lucky? The wedding planner Marie spreads out fabric swatches and flower samples across the antique table in her office. Each decision feels monumental, like I'm building something precious and fragile. We've chosen hand-calligraphed invitations on heavyweight paper, each envelope lined with gold leaf. The table settings will feature vintage crystal and custom-made place cards. Even the smallest details matter. The exact shade of pink for the bridesmaid dresses. The precise moment the string quartet should begin playing as I walk down the aisle. The deposit for the catering needs to be finalized today, Marie mentions, sliding the contract across the table. The number at the bottom would have once made me hesitate. But David's generosity has removed all barriers. I sign without hesitation, my signature flowing across the paper with confidence. I want it all to be perfect, I tell her, unable to contain my excitement. Every detail has to be just right. She nods, understanding, already jotting down notes about the specialty cocktails and late-night snacks we've discussed. Later, at home, I twirl in front of our bedroom mirror, practicing my walk while holding a makeshift bouquet. "What do you think of these shoes?" I ask David, showing off the crystal-embellished heels I've chosen for the ceremony. They cost more than my first car, but they're exactly what I envisioned. "They're beautiful," he replies, his smile not quite reaching his eyes. "You'll look amazing." He's been quieter lately, more contemplative. But I attribute it to work stress. Besides, he's never been one to get excited about fashion choices or flower arrangements. I curl up next to him on the couch, breathing in his familiar scent. I can't believe we're really doing this, I whisper, my head resting on his shoulder. Sometimes it feels too good to be true. It certainly does, he murmurs, his arm around me, feeling both protective and distant. The wedding planning consumes my days. I spend hours coordinating with vendors, selecting linens, and finalizing the menu. Each decision brings me closer to the perfect day I've dreamed of since childhood. The guest list grows longer as David encourages me to invite distant relatives and old friends. The more, the merrier, he says, though something in his tone sounds almost challenging. I choose a cathedral-length veil that flows behind me like a soft cloud, and a tiara that makes me feel like royalty. My jewelry set, made of diamonds and pearls, glimmers with every flicker of light, becoming my something new. Everything is falling into place, with a precision that feels almost planned. In quiet moments, I catch myself staring at the engagement ring on my finger, watching how it sparkles under different lights. It represents everything I've ever wanted. Security, love, a future filled with promise. David has made all of this possible, and I'm determined to give him a wedding day that matches his generosity. Thank you, I whisper one night, kissing his cheek as we lie in bed. For everything, for making all of this possible. He turns to me, his expression unreadable in the darkness. Anything for you, Evelyn? Anything at all? His words wrap around me like a promise, and I drift off to sleep, dreaming of white dresses and perfect moments. The evidence paints an undeniable picture. Each piece of documentation from the private investigator fits precisely with the timeline. Hotel receipts, restaurant charges, and flight records. The photographs provide visual proof of what the paper trail suggests, transforming suspicion into certainty. For weeks, I've been compiling evidence systematically. Hotel charges from places I've never visited. Boutique purchases she claimed never happened. Business meetings. The meticulously collected evidence leaves no room for misinterpretation. I no longer need her explanations or excuses. The facts speak for themselves with complete clarity. At my desk, I arrange everything methodically. The documentation must tell a clear, undeniable story. My goal isn't just to expose her betrayal, but to present a case that's so irrefutable that no one can offer a different perspective or deny the truth. The narrative has to be so transparent that even the most casual observer will see the full extent of the deception. I examine the photographic evidence one final time. The private investigator's work is impeccable. Every photo is sharp, well dated, and contextualized. Particularly striking are the images of Evelyn and Brad entering a hotel. Her expression in those moments, completely open, genuinely joyful, revealing a truth far more damaging than any receipt could. She appears free from guilt, indicating that this secret life has become second nature to her. The social media platform sits before me, the cursor blinking on the blank screen. This moment represents the peak of my careful planning and patience. Soon, everyone in our circle, friends, family, colleagues, will know the truth I've uncovered. The mask she's worn will fall, and I will no longer be the deceived partner in this narrative. The evidence deserves to be shown without any emotional commentary. Just the facts, dates, and photographic proof. Let the truth stand on its own. Let others come to their own conclusions. With deliberate focus, I begin uploading the evidence, each piece fitting seamlessly into the story. Hotel receipts, dinner charges, surveillance photos. The timestamps align perfectly with my business trips and her supposed late nights at work. I take a deep breath, feeling a moment of absolute certainty. And then I press post. The deed is done. The truth is now out in the open, accessible to anyone who's willing to look. I sit back, watching as the first notifications start appearing. The weight of secrecy lifts, replaced by an empty curiosity. This isn't about pride or satisfaction. It's about the truth finally being exposed. I close my laptop, choosing not to track the immediate reactions. The comments and responses don't interest me. I'm focused on the facts, not how the public chooses to interpret them. The truth exists independently of their judgments. Now, I wait. The next move is hers. The world she's so carefully built will soon come crashing down, and I'll be there to watch it fall. Not with joy, not with satisfaction, but with quiet certainty that the truth, no matter how painful, must eventually come to light. The day begins like any other, until my phone starts buzzing non-stop. It's not the usual work emails or morning messages. These notifications are different, urgent. I glance at the screen. A text from my cousin reads, "What the hell is this?" My heart skips as I unlock my phone, my stomach twisting when I see the post. David, oh my God, David! He's posted everything. The photos, the timestamps, the credit card receipts. Every secret I thought I had buried is now glaring at me from the screen. I can barely breathe as I scroll through the comments. Some are supportive, others are outright brutal. This is disgusting. Dodged a bullet, man. She's trash. My chest tightens, my hands shaking. I want to throw my phone across the room, but I can't look away. The shame is suffocating, but the anger comes roaring right behind it. He didn't just break up with me. He humiliated me in front of everyone. I try calling him, but it doesn't even ring. Blocked, of course. I text him anyway, begging for a chance to explain, but I know it's pointless. He's already decided how this will end. It's not just him. My mum calls, her voice cold and clipped. "What is this about, Evelyn?" She snaps. "Did you really think this wouldn't come out?" I can't even defend myself. What could I say? She hangs up before I can respond. The fallout spreads like wildfire. Friends I thought I could count on won't answer my messages. A few even side with him, sharing his posts like it's the gospel truth. My boss calls, his tone dripping with judgment, asking if everything is okay. The financial hit comes next. I log into my bank account, hoping for reassurance, but all I see is a huge hole. More than $50,000 gone. Spent on venue payments, dress costs, the caterer, the flowers. Everything vanished, and I'm left holding the bill. The pit in my stomach deepens. I sit on the edge of my bed, staring blankly at the wall. How did it come to this? Sure, I made mistakes. But this feels like annihilation. My sister calls, her voice softer than I expected. "Ev, what were you thinking?" she asks. I can't answer. How do I explain something I can barely comprehend myself? She sighs, the weight of her disappointment settling on me. "You've got to figure out how to fix this." "I can't help you fix this." "How? My reputation is shattered. My finances are in ruins." I pull a blanket over myself, curling into the corner of the couch. Tears streak down my face as I replay the past few months in my mind. Every choice, every lie, every selfish moment. it all led to this. The worst part? I can't even blame him.